Hello everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, happy whatever you celebrate. Festivus Day too. We are back. Welcome back to the Great Circle. What's up, Big Bob? What's up, Lynx? And today we have the last big update. Oops. Thank you for that. Today we have the last big dev update before the actual release of our first playable demo. Very soon. Very exciting. How's everyone been? I hope that the holidays have been kind to you and you've been kind to others. So, for those who don't know, just to get the intro out of the way, The Great Circle is an animal survival game set in an African caldera. So, if you play The Isle, this is with modern day animals, not dinosaurs, and it is awesome. We've got a bunch of creatures and a bunch of features to go over today. Let me get us started real quick here. Put you over. Oh, I've got to drop the thing so I can show my desktop here. All right, perfect. Well, first of all, some stuff that is not actually in game but updates for everything. First of all, in the link in the description now, we are sharing a link to the official Discord for the game. So to play the game, we're going to be dropping it in there so you can access it in there. So first 100 members get access to the Discord. It's not going to cost anything. We're going to be releasing the demo as like a test feedback kind of thing to just see what people think of it, see how it's running on people's computers, find out if you like the animals, find out what animals you would like to play, what features are working, what features you would like to see, all that kind of good stuff, all the early stuff. But first, we actually have an official website, and again, this is in the description as well, so you can see the official website. We now have YouTube is the main official thing. We also have Twitter. We have an Instagram, haven't really posted anything yet, but now we have an official website. The website is thegreatcircle.weebly.com. Free subdomain, but very effective. So here is the website, just some basic info on the front page. Just The Great Circle is a multiplayer animal survival game, yada, yada, yada. Here's our player base, Discord. Here's our developer team. Basically, that's me or my avatar. And we have two technically developers right now. So me and there's somebody working on the rig for the wild dog. Now, one of the important things that we do list on the website is a list of all the animals that we have and are planning to launch with. So at the very top, we will be adding some pictures and stuff, but for now, at the very top, we have just a simple list right here. On the left side, playable. Playable is for the for the players. So you come in, you can play as these animals, and everything on the right is what you will find in the environment. So basically, NPCs or AI will be all these animals. These are not animals that we hope to have. These are animals that are actually a part of the game right now. So we have 17 playable animals at launch in the demo for for the player, and we have 29 animals that the AI will be taking control of. If you scroll down, we have a list of planned animals. Now this list is just illustrative, it's not exhaustive. As you can imagine, we want to put any animal that we can get our hands on in the game, especially if it's an African animal. We do have a kind of small section for exotics. So actually you'll see some of these animals are highlighted as exotic, meaning the kind of theme that we're going for here is African animals. So what we want, number one, are natives, invasive species, or established populations. If it's not one of those three categories, then it's considered exotic. So something like the box turtle is not native, it's not invasive, it doesn't actually take place in Africa. So it's kind of brought in for primarily for testing, usually is what the reason is. But if it turns out to be a cool animal, we kind of leave it in the game. The lore is kind of open right now, so it kind of allows us to use things a little bit outside of what the original scope was. There's no guarantee that any of these exotics will stay long term, but for now they are in. So we do have the box turtle, Komodo dragon, and cassowary playable exotics for the player inside. Turns out alligator snapping turtle, not exotic. It is not native, but it is considered an established population in Africa, considered an invasive established species. But we have things like the wildebeest, African wild dog, jackal, lion, leopard, cheetah, Thompson's gazelle, ostrich. All these are animals that we are considering high priority, and we were definitely planning to get into the game as soon as possible. As well as we have a little list here for people suggesting things that were not on the list, like the shoebill, the addax, the pangolin, and the green anaconda. Now that one's exotic, but if we can't get our hands on the African rock python, we will consider the green anaconda. How's it going, guys? How's it going? That's right. I'm the seagull king as well. Now that's the animal list. Let's get to the other updates real quick. Again, all this info is in the description. Going forward, we basically have all the social media for the game in there. We have the link to the Discord. There's just a dev team info in there. Whenever something changes, you can kind of just look in the description for the video and you can find the info there. Let's get to the game features. Okay, I'm gonna close this, save a little RAM. All right, I have been working on a lot of features to put in the game before the demo releases, and luckily a lot of these features are working out very splendid. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at the first things first. I want to show you we have a brand new biome map. Basically we made the biome into its own map, but the idea is to take a bunch of different biomes, combine them into one big map. But this biome is called jungle. I want to show you from the ground level. So I'm going to come in and start to show you the features inside of this map. It has not been shown before. The only biomes that I have shown you guys have been the early iterations of the Great Circle crater map and the brush biome. So this is jungle biome version 1. Every biome will have several different versions, different variations of trees, bushes, how much space is there, rock formations and things like that. But the general theme will, stick to, jungle is jungle, brush is brush, plains is plains, grasslands is grasslands, swamps is swamps, and so on and so forth. But again, the main idea that we want is we're going to develop these biomes separately and then combine them into one big giant map. So let's go in, and I want to just start shooting off these new features one by one that I've been working on here. What's up, Devin? A lot of birds, yeah, totally unexpected, completely unexpected. I did not think in the beginning there would be many birds, at least in the beginning, but it just kind of worked out like that. What happens is when you develop a good prototype for one animal and it's a specific type and it has a bunch of functions, it kind of makes it really easy to bring in other animals right after it. So once I had that, once I had the tawny owl, and then this secretary bird came into the picture, it was just really easy to add the others. So that's kind of how prototyping works. One animal sets it up for a huge host of other animals. What's coming next are going to be a focus on big cats, the crocodiles, and amphibious creatures. Let's see here. All right, so number one, we do have a pause menu. Sounds basic, but it's there. Didn't have it before. In the pause menu, you will have access to 2 different biomes. The Great Circle is showing up on my pause menu, but that won't be there for the demo. You're only going to be able to select brush and jungle, so you'll be able to choose those 2 biomes. You'll be able to access the options, which will let you change graphics and controller settings, yada yada yada. You'll have the option to quit, and you can also go back to the main menu. Do we want to see the main menu? Of course you do. Oh no, that's not the main menu. Sorry, that's the wrong main menu. It linked to the wrong one. That's a template. That's a little embarrassing. That's the menu that I built my template, or that's the template that I built my menu off of. Anyways, we'll get back in here. But you get the point. That's the main, that's the pause menu. Pause menu is just the same thing as the first menu that you see in game. Okay? Pause menu. So this is the jungle biome. Okay, now, this is important and this is new and this is very, very important for the game. We now have working survival stats. Okay, if you look in the bottom right hand side of the screen, you'll see a bunch of different bars down there. You're used to seeing just one or two, right? You got your health, you got your hunger, you got your thirst. Well, in this game, we do have health, hunger, and thirst, but we also have more than just that. Oh yeah, you got your stamina too. So first of all, the red bar here is your health, so basically your traditional hit points. Something comes up and attacks you and it starts to go down red here. Alright, well, we took it a step further. Every animal has hide or armor, depending on how thick their hide is. So right here, depending on your animal, that's going to be your hide. So if you take hits, it will take away from your armor, your hide, or your skin. That's all considered the same thing. It'll beat this bar down first, then it will eat into your health. So if you can imagine if you're a turtle or something like that, then your armor is going to be really, really strong. So it'll really be hard to penetrate through that. But once your animal's defense is broken, then it really starts to take damage right here in the red. So that's how that works. We also have the hunger. That will be your green bar right here. By the way, this is just placeholder layout. I think that we're probably going to need some labels with as many bars that we have here, or we're going to need a big character menu that kind of just breaks down all the stats. But these are basically all your stats represented as bars. Give me 1 second, let me just double check the chat here because I've been kind of ignoring people. Thank you, Devin. Hi. By the way, your chat is like a minute delayed. Oh, sorry about that. A minute's not bad. Now, if it gets to be like 5 minutes, let me know. That's an alarm. I'll just look over from time to time and say just came to say hi. I'm gonna go. Some cartoons and SMT. Don't know that acronym, but all right. See you later, Devin. Good to see you. Happy New Year's, brother. Also, yes, it's delayed. There are 5 people. Why not 5 likes? Don't worry about that. If you gotta go, don't worry. This video is up after the live stream as a video, so you can kind of watch it back later as well. Okay, so we've got health, your armor or your hide or your skin right here, your hunger. Next one is thirst. That's your blue bar right here. So when that runs down, you're in deep trouble. You need to find water. Oh, what's that? That's a rabbit. Okay, rabbit just ran by. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back in while I sip my tea, my green tea, my green sweet tea, my green sweet Arizona tea. All right, so let's see here. You hit H to bring up your HUD. Thank you, appreciate that. Hang on, let me get the cursor. Okay, so health, armor, hunger, thirst. Okay, you guys are all familiar with that. The next bar right here is your stamina bar, and you guys all know what that is. You know, you start to run fast, or in this case, the bird character starts to flap. It starts to burn stamina until you get to a place where you can take a rest. Regenerates as soon as you stop moving. Press C to sit down. Regenerates faster. Okay? Look how fast that is for the bird. Secretary bird regenerates really quickly. Okay. Now things are about to get complicated, so I need you guys to really pay attention and let me know if you have any questions at all. The next bar that you see at the top here is the most important bar of all. This is your total health. On the back end, I'm calling it nutrition, but this is your total health. This is an average of how well you're taking care of all your character stats. So, your health, your hide, your hunger, your thirst, all feeds your total health bar up here. Now, if your total health starts to go down, like let's say your hunger goes half, your water goes half, maybe you took a hit from a fight or something like that, so 3 of your main stats are down, it will eat into your total health. Your total health influences everything else. So you remember how fast that stamina was regenerating when I sat down? If my total health is down, it won't regenerate that fast. It's affected by the total health. If I had, let's say, only a sliver of total health because I'm only hanging on by a life thread, my stamina would regenerate so slow because my total health is just in poor shape. Not only that, but regenerating health from getting into a fight is slower if your total health is down. So in other words, if you're not well fed, if you haven't been drinking water, if you're in otherwise poor health, your regeneration is going to be much slower and it's going to be harder for you to survive. So you've got to keep up with feeding your animal, keeping it well watered, and keeping an eye on the other things. So that's these bars, and you understand that this is the total health. Now there's other bars that play into that. This one is simple. This is just oxygen. So if you go underwater, it will start to deplete. When it goes down, it will start to take away your health. Okay, the next thing is a sleep bar. So throughout the day, your animal remains active. This bar will start to deplete and deplete and deplete. When it runs out, you need to slow down and take a nap or go to sleep. Once that refills, you're good to go. But basically, your animal has to sleep. If you keep operating while sleep deprived, it will eat away at your total health as well. So this makes up a piece of your total health. Hunger makes up a piece of your total health. Water makes up a piece of your total health. It all comes together and influences you. Last but not least, we have 2 other things here. I actually forgot what that last bar is. Let me skip that one for now. We'll go to the one on the side here. All right, so I have growth in the game. This is growth 1.0. It is very basic. It is time-based growth, okay, with a twist. So first of all, this bar shows how far you are in your growth progression. So right now we're halfway grown. So as time goes by, the bar fills and the animal grows in size. So I'm actually about half the size of an actual secretary bird in the game. Now, the theme that we're going with here is one stat affects every other stat. Everything is connected. So your growth time is affected by your total health. Let's imagine that your total health has reached a halfway marker. Guess what? Your growth rate is now cut in half. You're now growing twice as slow as you normally would, or half as fast as you normally would. So this is yet another reason why you have to keep an eye on your animal stats and do everything you can to keep your animal in tip-top shape. Because if your total health is down, you're not growing as fast as you can. Another thing that is not actually live, but I'm building it on the back end, are things like attack stats, defense stats. Every animal has unique abilities. While you are growing, those abilities are increasing slowly but surely for each animal, but they increase based on your total health here. Let's imagine you have 60 minutes to grow your animal, and your partner or your friend has 60 minutes to grow their animal. You're both gonna survive that long, right? One of you stays at about half health the entire time. You both reach full growth after 60 minutes. Guess who has the best stats? The person who kept their total health the highest for the longest. So if you're not in total health for as long as possible, you will not be as strong as you can possibly be. You will not have the best defense that you can possibly have. You won't be as fast as you can possibly be. think of growth time as the time when you can get as much stats as you can possibly grab. It's your development time. It's when your animal is becoming as healthy as it can possibly be before it gets into the next stage. Because this game isn't just about survival. Survival is only the first stage. Survival is from when you first get into this game to when you reach full adult. When you reach full adult, that is a whole new stage that we have planned for you. It has nothing to do with survival. That has to do with thriving. But in the survival phase, the idea is not just to stay alive. The idea is to stay as healthy as possible so that you can get as good a stats as possible. 2 grown adult lions will not be equals in this game. It depends on how well fed you've been. It depends on how healthy you are. Let's say you get into a fight. What if one of you has not eaten in 2 days? The other one is just eaten. He's well fed. The one who's just eaten who's well fed. Let's assuming that he got as many good stats as he could during his growth phase. He's going to have the advantage in the fight because he's well fed and the other lion is weakened. So that has real world consequences in this game. And that is not just theoretical, it is working, it is tested. It works in this game right now. Except for the attack and defense part. Everything else is feeding into your total health. Give me 1 second, let me check the chats. I'm one of those people that watches people play it instead of playing it for myself. Can I still join the Discord? Yeah, you can. There's nothing wrong with just being a supporter of the game. You actually might be able to give some feedback just, as a viewer. That can be valuable. It's perfectly fine. But just again, so you know, the Discord first 100 people will be able to get the demo. It is free. We're not going to charge money for a demo. And the main thing that we're looking for is feedback. We may increase the membership beyond 100. Just depends on how things are going. We want to keep things manageable. Okay. So that's kind of me going over the kind of status bars that you have down here. This is not all of them. Things like urination and pooping are planned for the game as well. These are going to play into your health and how you take care of your animal. We're planning to go in depth with a lot of this survival experience stuff, so it's not going to be exactly as simple as just keep your health or keep your hunger and your thirst bar full and get to adult. It's more complicated. It's more intricate. It's going to engage you more, hopefully, and I hope that everyone finds it interesting. But yes, this is how things work. Remember, total health, or your overall health. I'm calling it OH. Your overall health is what feeds everything. If your overall health is good, you're growing fast. You're gaining in all your animal stats at the rate that you can, at the highest rate that you can get it. Whenever you're not at the highest overall health, then you're not becoming as strong as you can be, and your survival is going to be affected by that. Okay. Let's see here. Let me restart this real quick. Okay. Now, second thing, I have been working on the combat. Before, in the last update, there was no combat. The player couldn't hurt the AI. The AI could hurt other AI, but there was no death. We now have combat version 1.0. So we have PvP and PvE. You now can hunt animals. Animals can hunt you. So as you can see right here, hang on, let me make this full screen. I just hit a tree. I'm going to hunt this, whatever it is. I think it's a rabbit. It's moving really fast. Yeah, I think it's a rabbit. Yep, I'm gonna hunt this rabbit. I will explain what's happening to the bushes in a moment. Rabbits are really fast. I want this to kind of be a challenge. But an animal like the secretary bird has a lock-on ability, so you can kind of keep them locked as long as there's nothing solid in between you and the target. Oh, I think I'm out of stamina. But I hit him with my talons. When you hit your enemies, some of them will slow down. Like the rabbit will slow down if you hit them, so I don't think I actually hit him. Need to get in before my stam runs out. I think he's moving a little slower now. Oh my god, he's so fast. Come on, I had to hit him that time. Let's see, where am I? Yeah, I'm completely empty. Okay, this rabbit's gonna go away. But that's embarrassing. Let me try to get this rabbit. Take him by surprise. He thinks he's safe now. After a certain amount of time, their alert goes down a little bit. Let's see if I can get closer to him. But the AI can see you, they can hear you, and they can sense damage. So if you walk up and hit them, you're not just gonna stand there. This rabbit sees me. Because when they don't see you, they don't move as fast. They also, some of them try to hide, so this one will run through bushes specifically. Oh, I think I hit him. He's hit. See how slow he's moving? He's almost done. He's running for the bushes. I got him. Where's his body? Oh, did I? No, he's dead. Where's his body though? It's right here. Oh, okay. So there is this little bug where sometimes the body will push you up into the sky for some reason. I will fix that. But so that just proves that you're able to kill animals now. Now, of course, each animal has its own stats. So hunting a rabbit is one thing. Getting hunted by a leopard or trying to fight a lion is a completely different thing. See if I can get to eat this thing. Alright, so we do have a little bit of buggy to work out. The body is easily pushed around and it easily pushes you around, so I have a little physics works to do. But you can also eat from the body. So if you kill something and you actually are able to touch the body instead of kick it 10 feet away, you just hit E and you begin to eat it. Anything that is a player or a AI animal is edible at this point. Okay. Just realized I was 1 minute 40 seconds behind. Did I miss anything? Hard to say. You missed me missing that rabbit. I was trying to kill a rabbit and it was juking me, but I got him. But then I kicked the body 20 feet away and I can't find it, so now I'm hungry. But yes, so I was just demonstrating that the combat system works now. I'm gonna see if I can find a predator that will try to hunt me while I'm... Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a fox. Yep. Now the fox is going to try and hunt me. I'm dead. Okay, fox just killed me. Now the fox is actually a new addition. He wasn't in before in the last update that I did. This particular type of fox is considered an exotic. So actually, I think I need to add him to the list. But the fox I'm prototyping for the jackal and the Ethiopian wolf. So he's a little bit of a placeholder. We'll see if he sticks around even after the jackal and Ethiopian wolf are added to the game. But for right now, he's actually a really cool predator. And I believe I may make that playable for the player in demo. Let's see here. Okay, so the combat works. Player can kill animal, the animal can kill the player. Let's see here. Yes, death works as well. So when I died, you just saw the game over screen, gave you the option to choose a map and try again. More details on death consequences later, but oh yes, drink from water. I believe that shouldn't really require much explanation, but now you have the ability to drink from any water source, and before you could not, because the stats weren't working and I hadn't created that ability yet. But now when you find water, you can drink from it. Now what I am going to do is make the water sources affected by the environment and disappear. So just because you find one watering hole doesn't mean that you can sit there and rely on that watering hole the entire time that you're there. The water will go down every time an animal drinks from it, whether it's a player or an AI. Also, weather will affect the water. So if it doesn't rain in a long time, the water is going to start to disappear. And if it doesn't rain within a certain time period after that, the water hole will dry up until it rains again. So water sources will deplete and disappear. And then new water sources will appear out of nowhere. So your kind of traditional water sources like lakes and ponds and stuff, there are like holes in the map or deep crests. Hang on, let me see if I can get up in the air. There are holes. There are basically, you can see that an area was meant for a lake when you see like a ditch or something like that, right? But kind of dynamically, puddles will form when it rains, so you can actually drink from puddles when they form. And you'll just kind of have to be on the lookout for those. Let's see if I can find some water. Oh yes, the last I completely forgot to mention this huge feature. It's right there in the top right of the screen. That right there is a mini map, folks. I have a working mini map in the top right of your screen. It is a part of every player's HUD. So the way this works is that gives you a topical view over the general area that you're in. It doesn't show you the entire map, but if you want to look at the entire map, press M, and you will be able to see the entire map. But right now, it's a little bit broken in this biome. In the other biome, it works. You can see the entire map. The reason it's broken is because I have a ceiling, which kind of limits the birds from going too far up. So the camera that's kind of showing the map is limited as well. So it should be going up and showing you a bigger view, but it's not. So you'll just have to make do with the mini map for now, and that's actually pretty darn good. So yes, we have a working map and mini map. Oh yes, and if you want to see your FPS, then that will also be up there. Right now my FPS is not very good. I believe it's because I'm streaming. But it actually looks not too bad, even though it's going at 21 frames per second. 25 right now, right? That's not bad, right? Let me see here. What was the orange bar for again? I had to go to the restroom. Let me see. Oh yes, the orange bar. That's the one that I'm having trouble. I'm totally gapping on it. Well, first of all, this right here is kind of orange or brown. That one here is your hide. So every animal has skin. Basically, the idea is once your skin is broken, then you're bleeding and you're taking real damage. So this here is the bird's hide. And when I take hits, it will take away from the hide first, and then it will cut into my health. Every animal has that. And if you're a high defense animal, it will take longer to break through that hide and start to really hurt the animal. The one below that, give me 1 second. I have to check my graph real quick. I have so many health stat bars that are not even on the screen right now to make the whole idea that, you know, if you're healthy, it does one thing to your growth, versus if you're unhealthy, it does another thing to your growth and your hunger and all that I forget what is what. Give me 1 second to just pull up the list of bars here. Oh, okay. That's your digestion. And actually, I want to put that in a different spot. Let me pull up the HUD right here so I can show the labels. May seem weird that I'm forgetting stuff like that, but you wouldn't believe the amount of features that I've been working on in the past couple days. Let's see here. Where's the HUD? Oh, here it is. Okay. Don't mind this big block in the middle of the screen. That's the platform for the map. So this here is digestion. So the idea behind digestion bar is when you eat a meal, you don't immediately get the benefits from it. You have to digest it first. So in other words, your hunger will not refill until you digest the food. Once the food is digested, your hunger refills. Over time, if your total health was down because you hadn't been eating, it will take time for you to metabolize that and get the benefits from it. So then your the percentage of your total health that's affected by hunger will start to slowly go up as well, until you get hungry again, and then you have to feed, and then the whole process starts again. So this is another layer of complication for feeding. You get hungry, you hunt, you eat, you fill your belly, you digest the nutrients, it fills your hunger, it starts to boost your overall health, and then you get the benefits from it. So that's what that bar is. Oh yes, and I did explain that the for those who missed it, the purple bar here is a sleep bar. So when the purple depletes, your animal has been basically awake for a very long time and they need to get some sleep. If you keep operating sleep deprived, it will start to take away from your total health, which will start to affect everything else. Again, remember, this bar is the most important bar. It affects everything else. When your total health is half, you grow half as fast, you take more damage, your defense is weaker, you get sick easier, it's harder for you to stay warm. All that stuff is affected by your total health. Also, if you're a female character, which we are going to have nesting and birth in the game, if you're a female character and your total health is down, you won't be able to produce milk. Why do you need to produce milk? Well, because when you nest babies in, they can't really hunt. You have to feed them milk. If you're a nursing animal, if you're an animal that actually can produce milk, if you're not a nursing animal, then this doesn't really affect you. But if you are a nursing animal, you actually have, it's not on the screen right now, but there is going to be a milk bar that produces when your animal reaches maturity and you have successfully mated. You will actually be able to produce milk. So you could basically, let's imagine you're a leopard or a lion, right? Let's say you're not in a pride or in a group. You're just a single mom leopard or lion. You've got a cub. Okay? So you've got no milk because you're hungry, your baby's hungry. Let's say you leave your baby in the nest and you go hunting. You go hunting, you kill something, the baby can't actually eat the meat yet, right? So you eat the meat. You eat the meat, you get your total health up, then you're able to produce milk. Let's pretend this is your milk bar. Your milk goes from 0 to 100. You go back to your nest or your den. You go next to your baby. You get into, basically you lay down, you get into nursing position. Then the baby or the other player who's playing the baby can actually press E and drink milk from mom. And that's how they get their nutrition. So basically you have to take care of yourself if you're a mom, and so that you can take care of your baby. If you're a nursing animal, not all animals will have that ability. So that's yet another example of gameplay that is affected directly by any animal's overall health. If your overall health is down, guess what? You're going to only be able to produce as much milk as you can produce on that amount of overall health. So if it's half, the rule of thumb, if it's half, it's half. So you get half of the milk produced from food that you eat if your health is down, versus you would get double if your health was full. Pretty cool, huh? Will some animals have camouflage abilities? Good question. I believe yes, eventually. I don't actually have an animal, like a chameleon would be a good example, I believe. and I guess I would have to do a little studying to figure out what other animals can actively camouflage. But I believe that that's a fine feature to have. Camouflage is a commonly used element of gameplay, and I should be able to implement it pretty easily. So short answer, yes. Long answer, I don't know when and which animals, but if you want to suggest an animal that you'd like to play that has camouflage, please leave it in the description or the chat so I can add it to the list. Let's see, where are we now? We'll cover drinking water. Didn't actually show it, but I covered it. Eat food. Eat bodies or bushes. If you're a herbivore, you can eat bushes. If you're a carnivore, you hunt other players or AI. Or carrion. So basically every map has a certain number of bodies that spawn. I'm gonna see if I can find a carcass. So basically it spawns an already dead carcass, right, that you can go and you can take nutrition from. So you can eat from a dead body. And basically what the level does is, I think this one has 3. It spawns 3 dead carcasses in random locations on the map. I cannot tell you where they spawn because the random spawn, so it won't be in the same place every time, and it has a limited time of I believe 500 seconds or so before it despawns and then respawns somewhere else. So at any given time, if you can't find food to hunt, what is that? Is that a buffalo? Yeah, it's a Cape buffalo. If you can't find food or if you're too weak to hunt anything, or if you can't find anything to eat, you may run across a carcass that you're able to eat. So be on the lookout for those. You're not able to lock on to those, so you kind of just have to be just looking for them. They're pretty big carcasses right now. They're basically dead buffalo carcasses. So if you're a eagle or a bird of prey, you may be able to spot it just by going up really high and just kind of looking down. Otherwise, it's kind of going to be by dumb luck that you come across one, because as you can see, this map, even though it's small, it's actually really big. It's small relative to how big it's going to be once it becomes part of the big official map. This is only a small piece of the official map. Okay, so the other thing is it also is programmed to spawn small critters with the body. So not only are there carcasses, but I believe this map spawns a scorpion and a frog along with the carcass. So animals like meerkats or something small, you can actually, if you don't come across the body, you may come across one of those critters that spawn off the body and started wandering off in some direction. So you basically will find wildlife almost everywhere on this map. If I were to use my X-ray vision right now, every one of these green things is an active AI at this time. See them moving? They're actual animals. Look at this. Oh, that's a fox. You don't want to go near that. He will hunt you. He's hunting. He will hunt players or AI. So everything that's green is an animal, and more are spawning in and more are getting killed as we speak. So there's kind of like a circular ecosystem going on here. The predators kind of maintain population control of everything else. Oh, let me check chat. Oh, I've been missing a few of these. I just killed 2 metries. I managed to get 2 claw strikes, and 1 bite on the first one, and a tail riding the other one. Nice, that's actually pretty good. They're not that easy to tail ride. Tail riding is something that usually is, you do that on big prey because they move slower. Very cool if you got them 2v1. Big Bob says, I love this game already. So many features that haven't been used before. Yeah, and I wonder why. It's like, but then I guess, simple was the point of the other games. But this one, I want it to just be more in depth. I want people to think about it more. I think any game that you're just kind of AFK growing is going to be boring. you know, beyond the fact that you're interested in playing the animal, but what you're actually doing when you think about it. Oh, I'm just sitting in a bush, I'm just waiting. Now you got to think about this, because okay, you just got some food, but it's going to take time for you to digest that food and to get the nutritional benefits for that food. And then while that's happening, what about your water? So you got to keep an eye on your total health, which is going to be going down based on all your other thank you for that, which is going to be going down based on all your other stats. Now, another thing that you got to notice about total hunger, notice how the bars are down, but the total hunger hasn't moved yet. That's because I just started the level. It hasn't actually affected total health yet. So if you get thirsty in 1 hour, that doesn't mean that you're dehydrated immediately, does it? Same thing in this game. It takes time for things to take effect on you. Let's say you're walking through the bushes, minding your own business, la 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 la. Oh, you run into a puff adder player. He thinks you're attacking him. He strikes you. You get bit by a venomous snake. All right, you run off. You're not trying to fight him. Well, you got venom, and you got some time before that actually starts to take effect on you. It starts to eat away at your stamina. It takes away your hunger. It makes you need to sleep more often. The effects of the venom are not for 15 seconds. The effects of the venom are for a significant portion of your gameplay for that general time period. It might be a basic hour. I'm not saying that's how long it takes right now, but it may be an hour that you may be dealing with that venom, or it might be longer. You know what's going to affect the amount of time? Your total overall health. Because if you're healthy, you can deal with that venom much better than if you're not healthy. If you've been starving, if you're emaciated, you're going to have a much harder time surviving that venom than if you were completely healthy and you had some health to burn through first. So that's another thing. Because of the way that this stat system dynamically, everything affects everything else, you're never going to get the same result no matter what you do. Unless you play the game absolutely perfectly, which is impossible without a cheat. Basically, no two lions who make it to adult will have the exact same attack stats. One's going to be stronger than the other. One's going to have better defense than the other. And the reasons for that have to do with how much time you spent eating, how much time you spent sleeping, how much time you spent moving, how many fights you didn't get into. All of them will have impacts on how your animal ultimately fully matures and what stats he ends up with. So even if you feel like you're playing the game completely correct, just because you didn't get into any fights doesn't mean that you got the best stats. The guy who did get into fights, yeah, he put his life on the line, but because he got into those engagements, he now has better attack power. He now has more experience, so his defense is a little bit higher. Every choice you make affects your stats long term. Let's see here. Oh, Nightmare Spine, how you doing? Yo, sorry for being late, though I have to sleep. I've been doing stuff. Came by to say hi and leave a like. This game is almost done. What? Not almost done yet. The demo is almost ready. So the demo is going to be out any day. I'm actually shooting for the 29th. So basically the last day of this year, or actually, sorry, the 31st. Basically the last day of this year, just so I could say I got it done, or the demo done, at least the first version of the demo done in 2020. So I was trying to get something out by the end of this year. That's what I've been saying. It looks like I can make that deadline. But I still have some more features that I want to implement, and I want to polish some other things. But I want to try to release a demo no matter what by the 31st. Let's see here. Will you play Historia when it comes out? Absolutely. That game looks interesting. That's the one that Valachi talks about. That one. The thing that I like about it is it seems to have, they have a huge roster that they want to put in there, like over 200 dinos or something like that they want to do. So that absolutely looks like something I want to play. as well as I'm interested in following the progress of that project because they're kind of in a similar, um, thing where they're going through development, just like I'm going through for this game. They're trying to, make that game into something, and I'm trying to make this into something. So it's interesting. I want to follow the progress, see how they do. I wish them well. I can't wait to play it. I hope they play this one. Let's see here. Will some animals have camouflage abilities? Yep. If we put the chameleon in, that will definitely have it. And the actual camouflage mechanic in games, I think, is actually easy to do. And, I mean, it literally may just be as easy as like a mask with opacity on it so that it kind of reflects stuff behind you. We may want to make it more realistic than that, like, chameleons don't actually do that, but we may have a function that's similar to that, so we'll see. The walking stick has camouflage abilities. Interesting. Now, we do have one insect in the game that you can play as. If anybody saw the list, it was, again, we have a website now, thegreatcircle.weebly.com. It's in the description below. If you go on there, there is a list of all the animals that are in the game right now that are going to be available at launch of the demo. I forget the number. It's like 16 or 17 playables right now for the player and 29 animals overall for the AI. So a bunch of animals at this moment. And below that is the list of stuff that we have planned that we want to get into the game too. Let's see. Will some critters be playable? Absolutely. I mean, and there's some animals that I don't know if a player would really want to play as a monarch butterfly, but we have it. So if you ever wanted to give it a try, see how it is, you can do it and give us some feedback, and let's see if it actually is fun to play as a butterfly. You can do a butterfly. Actually, there's probably going to be a lot of critter gameplay to be honest with you. That's probably going to be where we start out, and then we kind of build out to the bigger ones. But I mean, we have a lot of birds. We have the seagull, we have the crow, we have pigeon, we have the secretary bird, we have other birds to play like the golden eagle, we have the tawny owl, we have the white stork, we have a swan. We have a lot of birds. That's just how it turned out this time. There's also the meerkat. We want to add more. We're working on a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of critters. Like you can play as the box turtle, you can play as the sulcata tortoise. We've got the snapping turtle. You can do the you can play as the Komodo dragon. You can also play as the cassowary. And gameplay is different for each animal. Different types means different lifestyle. You got your birds who fly around, you got your birds of prey who, prey on everything from the skies. You got your nocturnal tawny owl. I mean, you've got your animals that are going to be in the water. We have the crocodile. It's not a very good crocodile right now, so we're really trying to get to improve that. But we do have a crocodile that is not playable, but it's AI. So watch out near the waters. Hippos. We've got a bunch of different things. We got the elephant. Elephant's going to be playable. It's not playable yet. Let's see. I'm rambling now. Let's move on to comments. So are the elephant... Oh, you just asked about that one. So are the elephant and rhino playable, or do we still have to wait? You're going to wait for... You're going to get the elephant first. The elephant is less work for me because I've been working on that for the AI the whole time. The elephant's not playable yet. However, there is going to be a surprise animal that I have not revealed yet for the demo. And I don't know if that's going to be the elephant or an animal that I have not mentioned at all, ever. Or you get both. Not sure. I may do both. But the elephant you will get the elephant. The elephant has a lot of good animations. It's well done already. It looks really good. Right now, it's just it's really the best background, like, scenery animal to just run into. Like, running into an animal in the jungle. Like, I made this game and I'm still like, man, that's so majestic. Like, I feel honored. The elephants are really cool. But yes, you can play as the elephant, just not just yet, but you will definitely be able to. Rhino, the rhino is not playable, and I don't know that that model that we have will be. It's not a very good one, in my opinion. I think that we can get a better model. I'd rather have whatever animal that the players play as, I want those to be the highest quality animals. But I may just go ahead and make that current rhino playable if you really want to. The thing is, it's not that great. It doesn't have a whole lot of animations to work with, and it's not really a good body to invest time into getting more animations for it. You know what I mean? I'd rather get a better model and put a lot of time in doing animations for that than the one that we have right now. But let me know if you definitely really want to play as that rhino, and based on demand, we may just go ahead and just give you the rhino as is. Of course, we're gonna replace it once we get a better one, but we may just go ahead and give you the one that we have just to make folks happy. Elephants and rhinos are playable. Not yet, but they will be. The elephant before the rhino, probably, most definitely, most likely. I don't know which most to use, but the elephant before rhino. Spino says, yeah, I like to be how realistic this game is, unlike the Isle, where you will instantly take damage when you have no food or water, but this game, nah, this is realistic. Yep, the aim is realism. And that's kind of the thing about this game. It's not just a survival game. We kind of have this game at its highest aspiration will be teaching players about what life is like raw, the meaning of life, as through the eyes of an animal. Basically, by being an animal, you will rediscover what life means. And that's just aside from the other stuff that we're going to put in the game. Like, there's going to be some lore. There's going to be like a reason for why the animals are here, why they're in the crater, why the specific types are in there too. We're going to be putting some story background in there too. But the game has some basic, how would you say, philosophical things that it will be showing. Not telling, but showing, giving you the experience to discover. Oh, sweet. Yep. Will the game have modding support? I'm in favor of it. I'm not experienced enough to say if I'm setting it up right for that, but I am 100% in favor of it because it adds more content to the game and gives players more options, which I'm always in favor of. So if it turns out that I'm not setting it up correctly, and once we get like a funding campaign going and we're able to have resources to, like, maybe we can have a guy who is focused on modding, and that person can make sure that everything that we're doing is extensible through mods, and basically that way we can have a whole community powered thing where it's like, yeah, the game is what it is. It's a indie game, and we're kind of limited by what we have, but we have a whole community. Some people volunteer their time to do mods and stuff, and that just pushes the game even further. So I'm definitely in favor of that because it adds content without requiring direct resources on the official team, which is really cool. Will this game, I already read that one. Will this be okay console? Will this be on console? I don't know. I would like for it to be, but I don't have the experience to say if that's realistic. I would just say that I would like for it to be on console because it's available to more people. Most people who play games play them on consoles. It's like 80% of the gaming market. There's still a huge amount of people who play computer games, and we would be just fine with just computer game players. But if we can get into that console market, that would be really cool. But from what I understand, there are just certain concessions that you have to make when you're going into business with Microsoft or with Sony or with Nintendo or whatever console you're going to be doing, because that console is an entire market controlled by that company. So basically you've got to play by those rules. You got to do whatever they say. The game has to fit whatever box that they want it to fit in, and that's the decision you have to make when you go to that. So I feel like I would like to, but maybe I would discover that that's not the way to go. The thing is, it's just too early in the whole game to really know whether or not we can. But I would like to go to console. That would be really cool. Nightmare says, well, gotta go. Bye. Have a great stream. Cannot wait to check out this game. Thanks, Nightmare. Again, to get this demo, join the Discord. First 100 members. The demo will be free. It will be single player. The multiplayer thing will come later, but you'll be able to do everything that I'm doing here and give feedback on, just a single player experience. You'll be able to try the animals, try the different maps, and let us know if we're doing anything right at all. Okay, let's see here. Animations by Deuce. Question, speaking of the rhino, will the rhino have... Oh, the screen went black. Bring it back. Here we go. Speaking of the rhino, will the rhino have bad render distance to mimic the rhino's actual back? Somebody brought that up. I don't feel like that's fun gameplay. The realism aspect of that is interesting, but I think in practice, that would not be fun. Like, playing any game that you can't see would be, I don't know. But somebody said, why not make it optional? To which I say, always a good thing. As long as we don't have to lock every player into that one experience. Like, if you really want to go hardcore rhino realism and have bad eyesight, and it's an option, so like you just hit a button and you turn on bad eyesight, I think I might be able to make that happen for you. So I like the idea of it being optional. So maybe I'm gonna look into that. It's definitely noted. Let's see here. Oh, what's up, Ellis? How you doing? He says, what if there are Care Bears in this game? Well, you know how we deal with Care Bears, don't you, Ellis? Care Bears can get wrecked. So here's the thing. This game, the way that it is, I don't know if Care Bearing will be the same thing in this game. Because the game isn't as simple as we're talking about with the aisle. Like I was explaining, all these bars down here, there's more than just hunger and thirst and stamina. There's sleep, there's hide, there's total overall health. You're gonna have to urinate. You're gonna have to do the whole poopy thing. The whole experience is gonna be in here for you. And there's growth, and everything that you do is affected by this bar. Your overall health. If your overall health is down, everything gets a debuff. So just keep that in mind. Half health basically means you're growing half as fast as you could be growing. It basically means you're only getting half the stats that you could get by the time you reach adult. You may reach adult, get 100 attack power, but because you spent most of your time at half your overall health capacity, somebody else could have reached 200. So you're locked in at 100 by the time you reach adult. Somebody else gets 200 attack points. They're a stronger, better animal than you because they took care of their animal early on during the development phase, reaching adulthood. So I don't know if it's worth it to try and Care Bear people in this game, because you're gonna have to be trying to look after your own animal. I'm certain that people will want to help each other out, which is fine, because just kind of getting the learning curve is going to be a little bit like, it's not that complicated. I mean, the general idea is everything affects everything. If you're dehydrated, that makes everything else harder. If you're hungry, that makes everything else harder. Of course, you're growing slower if you're malnourished. Everyone kind of instinctually understands that. but I don't know how the dynamics will be in this community once it's going, because the gameplay I think will be a little bit more intricate. You probably are always going to have Care Bears everywhere you go, because I don't know, that's just kind of human nature in some ways. People like to help other people. They see it as helping. They see it as nurturing people. Some people were put on this earth to do that. They're good at it. But that's okay. Some people don't like it. Some people hunt those kinds of people. So we'll see. Let's see here. But I don't personally have anything against Care Bears. I think they make very good hunting targets, and you know, I don't know if it's actually going to be realistic to Care Bear in this game. I don't know, because not only do they have to protect against, usually that's only a situation where there's no AI that's going to hunt you. You know, if they want to protect another player, fine. They might get clapped by an actual AI lion instead of an actual other player. So I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, what's the Discord? The Discord is in the description of the video. Just hit that link. Oh, I missed one. Will elephants be playable later on? Yes, absolutely, 100%. You will be able to play as elephant. I just don't know exactly when. But definitely you'll play as elephant sooner than rhino, because we already have a good elephant model with good animations. And it really wouldn't take that much for me to make that elephant playable. There are just some things that I wanted to do for the elephant. Like somebody brought up, like, you know, elephants in the wild, they like push trees down and stuff. Like, it'd be really cool if we could do that. Well, actually, I've been looking into it. Turns out I can make the elephant push trees down. Who knew? So actually, if you feel like it, you're an adult elephant. See that tree over there? If you run up to it, once I put the code in, if you want to break it and push it down, you can do that. I don't know if there's going to be a benefit to it yet. Maybe it'll make you stronger. Maybe it will toughen your tusk, or, you know, make your trunk stronger. I don't know. But if you want to destroy that tree, you can. That actually turns out to be not that difficult. But yeah, I would want to put that functionality in. And the thing about the elephant is, that forces me to go ahead and address the next stage of this whole growth thing, which is playing baby characters. Right now, I can start you guys off at half growth. I can't put you in baby mode because I don't have baby models for every character. The best I could do, if I really want to do that, is just scale the model down. But that would kind of suck, right? Like, it'd be really obvious that, you know, it's just a adult model that's just 10 times smaller for a lot of animals. It doesn't look, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not as good as if I can get a baby model for, you know, each one. So some of them actually have baby models. So the elephant would actually be one of those first animals that I can actually make it where you can have live birth and you can actually raise a baby up to adulthood. Actually, I'm able to do that right now. They're just, I want to have a group of animals that are able to do it, and not just have one, because that would be a little bit, I would have to give that one all the attention and stuff. So we'll see, but definitely elephant playable. I just want to start to do a little more with the elephant first, but 100% that elephant got to be playable for the character or player. Oh, that was your idea, Nightmare? I forget who brought it up, but definitely the tree pushing thing is cool. And it actually is going to look pretty cool. You're going to be able to splinter some trees. Like, it won't look like you hit it with a wrecking ball, but you'll push that thing down. Let's see here. What about Care Bears? Kill them, Ellis. If you see a Care Bear and you don't like it, if you want to take it out, I don't have anything against Care Bears. I don't have anything against taking Care Bears out. We know how I deal with Care Bears in Path of Titan, so you do as you see fit, Ellis. Let's see. Super King did. That is smart. I brought it up. Definitely, I remember that thing. And lose tusk, maybe. You may be able to lose your tusk. Oh, now that actually brings up another thing. I mentioned earlier in other updates that humans actually are planned for the game. There are actually going to be 3 types of humans that I'm thinking of putting in the game as AI only. So players will not be able to play as the humans, but the humans will be in the game partially because the elephant has no natural predator once he reaches adulthood. If you're an elephant, you're a full-grown elephant adult, you can be the boss of whatever you want. Nobody can mess with you. No lion pride. You will kill everything if you want to. To counterbalance that, I thought, poachers exist. Why not have enemies that can poach elephants? Since they have only one natural predator in the wild, and that's humans. So the thing about elephants is the reason they're hunted is because of their tusk and because of ivory. So if you want to avoid being hunted, you can make the choice. See, this is the thing, the game gives you choices. You can make the choice to either hang on to your tusk to fight off other animals, or if you feel that you may be getting poached somehow, you can maybe break your tusk off, make yourself less desirable to the humans, so maybe the humans will pass you by if you don't have tusks. I believe that that's a realistic thing that I can put into the game to where your tusk, will make you either a target or not a target of human poachers. The other types of humans will not be poachers. There'll be just farmers, just kind of defending crops. So if you're a herbivore and you see some tasty looking crops, but they belong to farmers, you have to take your chances. So maybe you can sneak a bite. Maybe, the farmer, kills you, but it'll be up to you. And the other type will actually be hunters hunting meat for, their village. So all natural circle of life. In some countries, they gotta hunt. They're gonna hunt to feed the family. Let's see here. Alright, I'm off for real this time. Also, humans OP, and they have shoot sticks. Just chaos humans. Hey, you won't be KOSing players, so I guess you can feel okay about it. But the thing is, humans are gonna be really tough to kill. If they have a gun, I mean, you're taking a real chance trying to take on a human with a gun if you're an animal. Yeah, but I feel like there needs to be some kind of threat that will make even the elephant players have something to think about. So, if you're an elephant or if you're a rhino and, you start seeing, those SUVs just off in the distance, just know the black ones are going to be poachers. You need to stay out of the area or get away from those because they're on patrol. If they see you and you have a horn or you have tusk, they want those ivories, they will come after you. That way everyone has a natural threat to worry about. And other animals won't really have to worry about that because they don't have tusks. But if you're a rare animal, like remember I mentioned there's a place for exotics. Exotic animals can be extremely valuable. So exotic animals, I'm not saying definitely, but I'm thinking really hard about making exotic animals the target of poachers as well. So that would be a threat for those of you who, those animals are beautiful, but they're worth a lot of money, so be careful. Let's see here. I have so many ideas for this game. Hey, drop them in the comments. I will use whatever is a good idea. What's the name of the program you're using right now? It is called the Unreal Engine. It specifically is version 25. So Unreal Engine was Unreal Engine 4.25. So it's the 4th version of, or 25th version of 4. And it is free. So if you want to try to learn some game development, maybe start to work on a little game of your own, I highly recommend using Unreal Engine. Let's see here. Alright, looks like I caught up on chat. Okay, back to the features. So I told you guys this would be a big update. Let's see. Okay, so now this is actually pretty neat. Oh, I died. I'm dead. I'm just sitting here dead. I just starved to death. Was I dead? I don't know. I didn't see the game over screen. Oh, hang on 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so camera mechanics. So we do have an improvement to where, remember how, you know, sometimes you look up the sky and the camera would go underneath the map and you'd be looking up through the textures of the map? Not anymore. Now it just kind of zooms in and you're just kind of looking up your bird tiny. So it doesn't go under the map anymore. Now it just kind of slides on the ground and gets closer to your character. So that's kind of cool. Also, it doesn't go into like trees and stuff. Anything with collision. Oh, that tree has collision. So instead of going in the tree, it'll kind of move closer to your character. So that's kind of cool. Another thing is, check this out. We have scroll, so you can get closer if you want to, or you can zoom out. See all this? Gives you a little better look. And it allows you to play the style that you like. So if you want more of a first person view, you just keep scrolling, just get all the way up. And I think that we're going to target this a little better so that you can scroll all the way to first person if you want, and then scroll all the way out to like third person. So we'll just give you the control to play it how you like to. Oh, thought they ran into a branch. Oh, here's water. I was looking for this. Let's get a drink. Press E to drink. And we're full. Okay, where was I? Let's see here. Oh yes, now this is actually cool. Remember somebody was asking, you know, will the head be able to turn with the camera? Look at this. The head turns with the camera. So from now on, every animal's head will turn with the camera, and it does not break the animation. So if you're looking straight on, you know the secretary bird's idle animation, you know, he kind of tucks his head left and right. Now he can look in that direction and he still kind of bobs his head, so it doesn't break the animation no matter what. And he's still looking in the direction that you want him to look in. Isn't that cool? Yay, we caught up to other games with that functionality. Let's see here. HUD now includes minimap. Already told about that. So for those who missed, we got a minimap up there. We will have the full map available once it's not broken, but just press M for the full map. Let's see here. Transparent. Oh yes, now some of you may have noticed some of these bushes turn transparent at times. This is a feature that I was thinking like this would be so good for Everima. It was like, you know how it is when you run into those bushes and you're chasing prey and you lose them so easily because the bush is so thick? Or you're by yourself and you're just frustrated that, you know, it's hard to really see where you're going because the bush is so thick and, you know, there's nothing really chasing you, but it would be really nice if you can make something transparent. My idea was, why not just make whatever bush is between the character and the player's camera, make it transparent. So when the camera is on the other side of a bush and your character's there, not that it turns the plant invisible, it just makes it transparent so that you can see your character. So now we have that functionality. So whatever is foliage that gets between you and your character, it will go transparent so that you can still see. Now this is very useful. So if you want to hide in a bush or something like that, and well, actually, it can be a little bit confusing if you can't really tell if you're hidden. But if I wanted to hide under here, I can still kind of see the bush, and I can see my character right there. And you can just kind of imagine just sitting down there with maybe your group mates or something like that, just hiding in the leaves like this. Outside, the other player would see the bush. So if you're hidden, you can see your character, but they can't see you. So that's just so that you can always see your character no matter what's in between. Now there is a little issue to work through where, if you notice, even something that's not between the camera, like something's in front, go turn around, something that's in front will go transparent too. See, it's not between me and the camera, but it turned transparent. That's just because of the way that I'm implementing it. I can fix that so that only the bushes that are in between you and the camera will go transparent. And what I want to do is make it a toggle, so you can just press a button, you can turn it on and turn it off. So when you want it, it's there, and when you don't want it, it's gone. But I got it working, and it's smooth. Okay, let's see where else. Oh, let me get back to the chat. Let's see here. Let's see, you should add dino fossils. I don't have dino fossils, but I do have, like, in the main official map right now, there's like dead animal bones littered all over the plains and stuff. So it's like you'll just be walking along and you may discover like a dead buffalo skull, like dried up, that's been there for years. I even made it so that it randomly spawns them, so they're like, some of them are not, they're not placed perfectly, like they're turned sideways. Some of them are clipped into the ground, so it looks like they're buried. It looks really freaking cool. So I do have actual animal bones, but there won't be dinosaurs in this game at all, unfortunately, at this point. If I think of a good reason, if it adds to the game but doesn't like distract from it, or, you know, take it off into some confusing direction, then perhaps that may become part of the lore. But don't expect there to be dinosaurs in this game. This is a modern day real life animal game. Dinos are real life animals too, but this is just, you know, animals of today, survival. Let's see here. Got to go. Hop on. Oh, gotta go. Hope you had a good Christmas. Thank you, Ellis. I did. I hope you had a good Christmas, and Happy New Year's to you. Is this your game? Yes, OBI. I've been working on this since early May, and we're only days away from the free demo being made available via Discord. If you want to try this game, the demo single player version of it will be available in the Discord, in the link in the description. It's first 100 members of the Discord only at this point. If everything is stable, then we'll expand the number, but we want to test with 100 people first. But yes, this is my game, and what I want to do is make this a community-powered game. So hopefully through the power of, you know, modding and, you know, fans, volunteering, people who love this game, want to help it develop, we can all kind of develop this into a really cool animal survival game that we love, as much as we love any other animal survival games right now. Let's see here. Queen, stay safe. How you doing? I miss Dino Spino. Was he in? I didn't know. Oh yeah, he was earlier, Devin. He'll be back. He tends to come in and out. So if you can, oh, I missed a part of this question. If you can go pee, does that mean you can mark your territory? Yes, absolutely. That is part of the functionality of being able to urinate in this game. Not just to relieve yourself, but to mark areas and show people that you are in ownership of a specific area. So that will be in the game. It's not implemented yet, but I'm planning it. I'm thinking about how to make it work and not become a mess. Absolutely, you will be able to pee on a tree and claim that tree. You can make that your tree by peeing on it. Let's see here. Nanny, what's that? Stay safe out. Oh, you're out. See you later. Stay safe. Happy New Year's. Let's see. Okay, on with the features. Okay, so just a little bit of an explanation for Growth System 1.0 for those who missed it. In the bottom right hand side of the screen, you have that green bar going directly up and down. That is the current growth of this animal. So it's halfway grown, which means it's half the size that it's going to be when it's full grown. Right now, I am growing at full growth rate. The reason for that is this bar right here. This is the total health. This is the sum of everything made into one representation. So my hunger, my thirst, everything is represented by my total health. When the other things go down and my total health decreases, my growth speed decreases. In other words, it's not as simple as saying it takes 2 hours to grow a secretary bird. No. If you didn't eat properly, if you haven't been getting water, you're not growing as fast as you possibly can. The only way to get full speed, maximum growth is to keep your overall health completely full. If at any point in time this bar is not totally full, it means that your growth rate has been debuffed by a certain percentage and you're not growing as fast as you could be growing. Not only that, total health affects everything, as I said. It's a debuff for everything that is about your animal. So all your stats that you're spending time growing in your growth phase, your attack power, your defense, your resistance to venom or whatever, the points that you're getting are not as much as you could be getting if your total health is full. If your total health is halfway full and you're building up those points, imagine that you're only getting half the points that you could be getting. So by the time you reach adulthood, you're no longer gaining those stats. So you may end up with 100 attack points. Somebody else has the exact same animal, and because they were better fed through their growth phase, they end up with 250 points for the exact same stat because they took better care of their animal. So just keep in mind, your total health affects everything about your animal. So you have to take care of everything. Right now, I'm growing, but I'm growing slower than I would. Oh wait, hang on. My total health hasn't been affected yet. I'm growing, but I'm not going to be growing as fast as I could be growing once this starts to go down. For some reason, it's not going down. Let me double check to make sure that's working while I'm doing this. Let's see here. One second. Take a quick look here. Let's see what makes you tick. Some of this is boring. Let me just move it to the side. I just want to check the one area where everything is. Events. Where is it? Ah, here it is. So actually I can show you this. Alright, check this out. Here's what the back side of this looks like. Alright. This is all the code for the secretary bird. Okay. So in here, I refer to it as nutrition, but this is the total health bar that I was talking about. It influences health. It's influenced by thirst. It's influenced by hunger. It's influenced by sleep. It's influenced by hide, and it's going to be influenced by other things as well. Once those other pieces of code are ready, they will become part of the equation, but this all makes up your total health bar. Now, the other thing is, look at the growth. Based on this, your growth times whatever your health is, or your total health is, your nutrition is what I call it on the backside here. So you get 0.01 normally. Okay, we'll take that times the percentage of your total health. So if you're not fully healthy, you're not going to get the entire 0.01. That's how that works. Okay. Let's not get too caught up in the backside stuff there. Let's go on. Oh yeah, the cinematic scene background thing. I can skip that. Basically, I'm just going to add something to the main menu to make it look cool. It's hard to explain. We did add the AI fox, so it's one of the main predators in the map right now. We have the AI leopard. It's a placeholder for a better model. We have the playable Komodo dragon. We have AI crocodiles added. And Wild Dog is now being custom rigged and animated. So we did get someone to volunteer some time to help get the animations ready for the African painted dog, or it's also called the African wild dog. So that's being worked on. So actually I'm not by myself doing some development for this game. So we have Eric. His name's Eric, doing some work. Let's see. Oh yeah, now this is cool. I don't know if you guys want to hear this. We're working on some original music. We already got 3 original soundtracks. You want to hear them? They're really early. They're really rough. You guys want to hear what the original soundtracks sound like? Oh, let me see what the question is. Will there be woodpeckers? What are those? What is an woodpecker? It's got to be a bird, right? Somebody was just asking why there's so many birds. This is why. It's a bird. I knew it. Hey, are these the little ones that are always on the rhinos? If so, yes, we want these. Let me see. Let's see. The oxpeckers are 2 species of bird which make up the family Buffagidae. I said that right. No, I didn't. The oxpeckers were formerly usually treated as a subfamily. Okay. Also called the tick bird. Oh yeah, yeah. I think these are the ones. I think these are the ones that eat ticks off of the backs of elephants and buffaloes and rhinos. The African genus of the family. Blah blah. Both species are yellow. Let me just double check. Let me see if this is the one. I'm almost certain this is like the one. If it is, this is the exact bird that I've been looking for. Or not looking for, but I've been putting some code in place where you can get nutrition by eating ticks off of things, because grooming is going to be in the game. So I did point out that in game, it's not just health, you have hide. So basically something has to break through your skin or your hide to start to take away from your health. Every animal has it, right? Well, one of the things that can get through your hide are ticks and bugs. So you're going to need to groom yourself regularly, or else your hide is going to go down. Again, here's the bar right here. It's the yellow one right here. So you got thirst, hunger, hide. Something breaks your hide, it starts to take away your health. So this is where the bugs will come in. So no matter what animal you are, you're going to need to do something about ticks and parasites and things like that. So one thing you can do is groom yourself, or you can get a group mate to groom you. But some animals will live specifically or on those types of things. So that would be that type of bird. I didn't know what it was called specifically, but I've been trying to get the functionality in place where you can ride something and bite ticks off of it. And I'm not done, but it's working. It's starting to work. But yes. And if you don't get the ticks off, your hide will start to go, and then it will start to affect your health. We're going to go ahead and add this one to the list. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. Where is the... Oh, here we go. And dang it, this has turned out to be a long video. I need to hurry up and wrap this up. Almost done. Oh, yes. So, we are doing some original music. I do have a little bit of a background in music, so I've actually already started on 3. I'm probably not going to be the one to perfect these and finish them, but I do have the ability to kind of get things started and get the main idea of things down. So what I can do is play a little bit of those 3 tracks to just kind of give you an idea of where the thing is going. But mind you, it's rough. All right, they're more of the main thing was getting the tune down, and what we're gonna do is we use some placeholder instruments. So if it's not me, the musician will replace these instruments that I have with better sounding sounds and make it feel all cinematic and stuff, and it will finish sounding much better than what I started off as. But I can let you hear the tracks real quick. Where did I put them? Oh. Actually, give me a second to find them. Oh, here they are. Let me mute this. All right. This may be a little bit loud, so if you want to start turning your music down just a little bit, just in case. Here's the beginning of the first original soundtrack for the game. Make sure I can turn this down if it's too loud. Okay, this one's the desert song, so it's kind of like, this is a song that would play if you're like switching out of a biome and going through the desert. This is kind of like an on-the-move exploration kind of song that we'll play. And again, these are very, very basic sounds that I put in there. The main thing is just to capture the essence and the energy of what's happening in the song, and then replace them with much better sounding instruments. But the overall idea for the song is here. So here's a base of it. And that's the first song. So you can kind of get the idea of it. It's kind of desert sounding. It's kind of like a little bit like, you know, traveling kind of music. So that's kind of what it's meant to be. So, all right, here's the second one. This one is a little more just kind of music that will play. Like, let's say like you're just on the move somewhere doing whatever. Like, you don't know if you're going to attack something or get attacked. You're just going about your business. Like, maybe this is even like a hunting mood song for you, but it'll kind of just kind of bubble up in the background as you're just working your way through the jungle or like the savannah or wherever you are. It'll just kind of come up. Okay, that was the second one. Um, Neither of these has a name yet, but you kind of get the idea behind both of those. They're just kind of moody, just kind of mood kind of soundtracks that will just kind of come up in the course of you doing your business, whatever it is you're doing. And there's one more. That one's a little bit different. I want to switch to time of day. Bring it up a little more light. 7 a.m. should be fine. Okay. Not really sure where we're going with this one, but let's see. Again, if you're just now tuning into this, these are just some original music, very early. The instruments are extremely basic. They're just there to placeholder and capture the essence of what we're trying to do. So it's more about the energy of it and the feel of it than the actual sound of it right now. So once it's done, it will sound way better, trust me. But here's the third of the three. And yeeted. Okay. Yeah, so that's the third one. Okay. So just so you know, original music coming to the game. All right. So I believe we're at the end of that entirely too long list of features that I've been working on over the past few days. As you can see, I've been extremely busy. So let's see, improved water. Okay, so last but not least, just a reminder, free test demo coming. Now, what to expect with this test demo? Um, Basically, it's just a very very early state of the single player version of the game. Um, the player has one simple objective: survive and grow your animal to 100%. So this is a demo that covers the first phase of the game. There are more than one phase of the game, and what I mean by that is what I said in the beginning of the video. This game is not just about survival. Survival is only the beginning of the game. Survival covers growing all the way to 100% adulthood. Once you become adult, this game has an entirely new slate of things for your adult animal to do. Things like traveling, things like breeding, things like establishing herds if you're a herd animal, things like creating a family. Um, I really want to go in depth with the experience of finding a mate. Let's say you want to, start a family. Finding a mate, a suitable partner where you can make babies. You'll actually go through the phase of, let's say you reach adulthood, you're in the brush biome. Okay, well, mating grounds for your species, let's say on the other side of the map. So the first thing you have to do is migrate. So that's something that only an adult will be fit to do. So now you have to go through, now you have a journey to get to the part of the map where your species can actually mate and find another animal. Then you find a partner. There's actually a mating ritual that a lot of animals, basically every animal has a mating ritual, but one is finding a partner, and maybe we have the 3 calls or whatever calls set up, social calls, where you can find a mate, let somebody know you're interested. Not sure how the mechanic will be, but maybe we'll have, like, you have to go into some bushes and your animals will mate, and then you come out, and then if you're the female, you're pregnant. Yay, your mating was successful. If you successfully mate, the timer will immediately start, because now your animal is pregnant. You're going to require more food for yourself. You are going to have to find a place to create a nest, or find a den, or create a burrow. You're going to have to find a place to give birth, because basically wherever that baby drops, that baby's going to be stuck. You're not going to be able, the baby's not going to be able to travel. The baby's basically going to have to stay in like a tether distance of the nest. And so it's going to be really important, once your animal, if you're doing the female, becomes pregnant, to really find a suitable place to raise the baby. And that's also a natural part of animals' lives, where they kind of know where they want to, build their nest, or they kind of have mating grounds where they go and they mate, but then they also have places where they actually go and raise young. So you're going to need to find that as well. That's something that you'll need to discover in the game, kind of through trial and error. But if you think like an animal, you will be able to figure it out. Now, the process of raising young in the game is going to be kind of intricate and in-depth. So let's say you successfully find a den or something. Either you build a nest, or you find a den that's kind of like built into the map. Like some cave areas will make good places to raise babies or something. Let's say you find someplace safe. Okay, your timer runs out, you give birth. Yay, you either have an egg or you give live birth and you have a very little baby. Okay, you're now the mother of an animal that cannot feed itself. So, if you're a mammal, most likely you're going to be producing milk. And so, what you have to do is now you have to keep yourself fed. Let's say you're playing leopard. Okay, you've got a baby at the den. You're playing leopard. All right, your animal's hungry. Your baby's hungry. So what you do is you leave your baby alone. You go out and you hunt. You hunt. You eat a meal. You feed yourself. You can't feed the baby meat because it's too young. So what you do is you feed yourself to your hunger fills, okay? Your nutrition goes up. Now your animal can produce milk. When you play a female animal that can nurse and it has all the requirements fulfilled, you will have a milk bar that appears and it will fill. So then you can go back to your den or nest and you can actually nurse your baby. So you can lay down, the baby can come over, press E, they can drink from you, your milk bar will go down. So that's basically their food. You're basically eating for two. You're eating to keep your hunger up, but then also to get that milk bar up. There is a limited amount of time while the baby can actually eat. So let's say like 25% of the baby's initial life, that 25% that you can't access right now because you start off at 50, they have to depend on mom's milk. So it's going to be a process of you're home, you're guarding the baby until you get hungry enough, and you go out, you feed yourself, you get your nutrition up, you come back, feed your baby, then you got to guard the nest again because, you know, baby killers are out there too and stuff. So it's basically going to be back and forth. And you're going to try to give the baby the nutrients it needs until it doesn't need milk anymore. It can go out and it can follow you on hunts. It won't be strong enough to hunt anything, but you'll have the experience of having it close by you, and you'll see what it's like to hunt when you have a baby nearby and you have to try to keep an eye on it, make sure nothing comes by and tries to prey on you. It will be an interesting experience. It's not the same. It's not going to be as simple as what, you know, a lot of us have experience with other games like the Isle and stuff. It's going to be more intricate. I think that this can add a lot of depth and intrigue to the game beyond just the simple, you know, keep your health bar full, keep your water bar full, or nest somebody in. Now this is a whole nother process. Like, this is beyond survival. Survival was just you getting to 100% growth. Now it's raising babies. Like, raising young is a whole nother aspect of this game that we want to really focus on and make it a fun, interesting experience. Educational too. Oh yeah, let me check the chat here. He says, cool. How you doing, Agnes? Alambio just came out of nowhere and killed me. That sucks, man. We're either one that just, like, you killed those two earlier, didn't you? Kill the two? Yeah, you killed the two Metries, and you had that really cool double kill. And then, you know, that happens, man. That happens sometimes. You get a really cool kill. Like, I've gotten triple kills, and then, like, I die to something stupid, like just something you wouldn't even expect. Because what happens is, you know, your confidence goes up. You know, you stop being careful. You know, you think, I'm invincible. All of a sudden, something comes out of nowhere. Clap. It happens, man. But that's awesome. Good job for the Lambios, man. They've been getting worked over since they launched, man. Lambios have just been easy claps once you just tail riding to death. Can you turn up? Oops, sorry. I can get closer to the mic. Can you turn up a little more the mic? I can barely listen, and all my sets are max. Dang it! Sorry about that. I forgot. I'm supposed to be leaning closer. Yes. So what I was saying was survival is the first part of the game. After that, there's whole other things for you to do. Like, as an animal, it's also about, like, finding a mate. successfully mating, because you may have to try a few times. As funny as it sounds, man, we're trying to go for total realism, well, as much realism as possible. So the idea that you go to a nesting ground, like you have to actually travel from one part of the map to a part where you can actually do the mating process. Because what I think we're going to do is make it so that you have to be in a certain area to do the mating. You also, depending on your animal, may have a certain percentage of success rate with that. So you may have to try a few times. And then when you become successful and let's say you're the mother and you get pregnant, I believe we're also going to have it to where not every pregnancy is going to be a successful pregnancy. So maybe you have a litter and 4 out of 6 are alive, but 2 didn't survive the birth. Or maybe one's like a stillborn, that kind of thing. So we're going to be putting a little bit of randomness into the experience like that. But just because it will add a little bit more depth to the game, and it just makes it a little bit more complicated, and it just gives you more to do beyond just getting your animal to adulthood. Now, there's just whole other things that you can conquer. You can conquer that. You can, there's a thing about, somebody was asking about urinating on the tree. Yes, there's territory. We're going to be doing territory. If you're like, say you're a lion, you're gonna want to, if you're a lion and you guys establish like a pride, like a group, right? Let's say the females are raising young. Well, you've got to protect that pride. The male lion's role is to control the area, to make sure that no other males come in, or make sure that no other predators can come in and prey on the young. So you're going to need to like patrol, you're going to need to mark trees, make sure other lions stay out of your territory. All this stuff is going to be so interesting. And this is beyond survival. That's the great thing about this. This is not just survival. This is realism, or at least what we're going to try to make it realism. But we're going to give you as many things to do other than just survive as possible. But we're going to try to kill you at every step of the way. The game's goal is to try to kill you in the survival phase. The survival phase is phase 1, and it's trying to kill you to make sure that you don't get to 100%. So don't think it's going to be as simple as just AFK growing. It isn't that simple in this game. Oh, yeah, let me check the chat. Better now. Excellent. I forget sometimes. I got to lean a little closer to this mic. It's one of those condensers, or one of those ones that like blocks out other stuff, but you got to be close to it. I got distracted by the music you were playing, and then it just came out of the bushes and hunted because, the hunter began to hunt it. Oh, sorry about that. Did you guys like the music? It's original. It's gonna be cool. I think that those soundtracks are actually gonna turn out really good. So I think they do a good job of capturing the essence, and I have more ideas for those soundtracks and stuff too. Of course, we're going to be mixing them with other soundtracks that we license, so we'll be finding some music to license to put in the game. But I think it'd be even better if we had our own. If we're able to get all of our own music, that would be so cool. But yes, I believe we're at the end here. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on the notes. But yeah, so I was explaining like the birth thing. I think is going to be really cool. There are a lot of players who enjoy nesting. If you like nesting in the other games, as simple as that is, I think that you're going to enjoy the experience here because it's going to give you more of a challenge. Like nesting isn't just, it's not just building a nest and waiting. Now you got to successfully give birth, and then you got to take care of the kids after that. And then like if you're a single player, there's this balancing act. There's, the whole game is about choice, option A or option B or option C. How does one outcome affect the other? If you choose to leave your cubs behind and while you go and hunt, you may come back and find that they've been preyed on. Or you may take them out with you when you should have left them. And, maybe you end up dying, but they survive. And then, are they old enough to survive on their own? This game is going to have so many different ways to turn out for all the players. And I think the cool thing about it is it's all player generated. This is not a script. This is only opportunities presented to everyone. And everyone will just get different results every time they try. And I think people are going to be pretty inventive too. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what this game can become. If we can hit all the marks that we can hit. I hope everyone's interested in all the things that I brought up. I know it can sound a little bit complicated, but I'm always thinking about whether or not whatever I'm considering for the game can be fun. Not just if it's cool or interesting, but is it ultimately going to be a fun experience? I don't want the game to be boring. So, if you guys are interested in playing the demo, check the link in the description. It will link to the Discord. That's where we're going to be releasing the demo to the first 100 people who join the Discord. The link stops working after 100 people join, so be sure to join that, and we can answer any questions in the Discord. And I think we're going to have a channel that's going to be like marked release or something like that, where we'll just drop the link in there to where you can download it, or however we're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to have a launcher or what. Maybe we'll have it on Steam by then. I don't know. But it is imminent. We're talking days away. I'm attempting to try and get this out by December 31st. So if that becomes true, then that means we're successful in getting it out this year. And if we miss the deadline, it'll probably only be, a day or two after that. Let's see here. We got a desert track. Let me see. Oh, I missed a couple. This isn't what? I missed the first part of that. I know I really got a desert track feel from that first song. Yep, that's kind of what I was going for. I don't know. I just kind of felt like that kind of came up while I was thinking about what it would be like to migrate through the desert. And it's like, if you're like traveling with like a caravan of animals or whatever, like maybe there's like 6 of you, like a little tiny herd or whatever, and you're trying to make it across the desert. You don't know if you have water. You don't know if predators are going to come. There may be lions trailing you or whatever. Maybe the vultures are waiting for you to die so they can feed on your carcass. That track just kind of came to mind. So I'm interested to see how that sounds once it's fully done. But I know it'll sound much better because we have instruments that will make it that we can replace the current sounds with. What's the babies leave the game? Will you get? Oh, let me see. When the babies leave the game, when you give birth. Maybe that. Oh, I'm missing part of that question. Oh, if they left the game when you gave birth, that would suck. Because some of us have had that experience where you spend time like incubating an egg in the aisle. Somebody takes the egg and then they log off 5 minutes later. Some people get heated over that, and I know why, because it took time, man. It takes effort. But I don't know. Here's the thing. That person is able to get an animal because you took the time to birth an animal for them. So even though they may have logged out, that's not the end of their journey. They're going to log back in, and maybe it would have been smarter for them to hang out with the mom a bit longer so that they can be protected. But who knows where that's going to lead? Maybe that ends up they become big and strong and they become mother for somebody else. You never know. You never know. That's the thing about this game. I think it's just going to have so many different outcomes and endings, and it's all based on the player's decisions. Agnes is excited. I am excited. I am hopped up on caffeine right now. I'm probably going to be up for another few hours just trying to ram as many more features into this game as I possibly can. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out today. And I know it's a big day. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope everyone has a great New Year. Hopefully this game will be out on the 31st. If not, we'll have it out as soon as possible afterwards. But I'm shooting for the last day of this year or sooner. Thank you guys for all the interest. If you think this is cool, if you want to share it with your friends, it would definitely help the project out. At this point, it's all about ideas and possibilities, what the game could be. So we don't really have specific goals in mind for do we want to sell it for this much or how many animals are definitely going to be in the game. We want it all. We want everything. We want as many animals in the game as possible. Want the game to be as good as possible, as many good features as possible. And we don't know yet. Don't know yet how exactly it's going to turn out. But I can tell you, since starting this back in May, I didn't even think it would look this good. It looks great. It's playing great. and you know, so many more things are possible now than, you know, that weren't possible just weeks ago. You know, just with things that I've been learning as just a main person working on this, and then, you know, other people wanting to get involved with this and donate their time to make this better. So I think that we're off to a pretty good start, and I'm excited to see where this goes as well. The thing that I can promise you is I will give it my all, and, you know, take this as far as I can possibly take it. And I think that we can take it as far as it being an awesome game. Thank you, guys. Again, check the description for all the socials for the Great Circle, starting with the YouTube. We now have also an official website and a Discord where you can play the demo as soon as it's released. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. There's also contact info via the description that you can get, and definitely in the Discord. And I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but if you guys want to ask any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below the video. We'll respond directly, if not in the next video. But thank you guys so much. This has been great. I'm looking forward to everything, and yeah, that's all I got.